That's a little too good, guys. That's a little too good. That's really, really delicious. Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome back to the AI Kitchen. Today I'm really excited. We are going to be making crumble cookies, but with a keto twist. So they're low carb, probably high protein. I don't know, I didn't look at that macro, but either way, I love crumble cookies, but we need a healthy version. So let's get to it. We're gonna start off with some dry ingredients. I've got my fancy little bowl here. Was that Pyrex? 70s, baby, yeah. And to start off now, we're gonna be making different variations, because to me, the big reason I like crumble is because I can go there and there's like 5 different cookies I can get. And I can try all the little mini cookies and have different variations and things like that. And that's a lot of fun for me. And so I think, you know, when I first asked ChatGPT, because that's how I get my recipes, I just ask AI to create them. Oh, that's coconut flour, easy boy. You need almond flour. 2 cups of almond flour, super fine. There's 1 cup, and here's our 2nd cup of almond flour. When I asked ChatGPT, it first just gave me like this base one, like their sugar cookie. I'm like, no. We're going hard. We're doing full-on crumble cookies. That means we need frosting. We need different flavor profiles. We need an epic experience. I really hope it works. Okay, on top of the 1 cup of almond flour, we want 1 cup of coconut flour. So this is gonna make a pretty big yield. You know, you're not gonna wanna eat all of this, well, in one sitting. You're gonna wanna eat it all, but maybe not in one sitting. I mean, you can, I'm not gonna judge, but you might wanna hold off. You then wanna add a 1/2 cup of erythritol. I'm using this Truvia stuff, which is like stevia mixed with erythritol. There's a 1/4 cup, and then another 1/4 cup. That equals a 1/2, woohoo! Then we will add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder, which again, I'm gonna use a 1/2 teaspoon to measure mine because I can't find the other one. And that would be like a merch idea, guys. I can't find the right tool, so I'm just making it happen. Actually, someone sent me like a Pampered Chef thing. I could just use that because it lets you change the size measurement. I should use that. That would be wise. Instead, I'm just gonna keep playing life on hard mode. Then add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Don't get salty, bro. 1/2 teaspoon of salt into there. And then we wanna just stir to combine to make sure there's like baking powder and salt all mixed in. It's gonna make a big yield, but it's because I asked for 3 different variations. We got 3 copycat crumble cookie recipes here, guys. And I asked ChatGPT, and I don't know if this is the best idea, but I asked it to make it so that we could do them all at the same time. So we're literally gonna cook all 3 simultaneously. Obviously, if one sounds better than the others to you, then you could just do the whole yield of that type, but I'm gonna show you how to do all 3. There's gonna be a project for me. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to do all this, probably a while. Now we gotta get another large bowl. I wanna add cottage cheese to the mix. Now, it calls for how much cottage cheese? 2 cups of full-fat cottage cheese drained. I hope I have 2 cups of cottage cheese left. Uh-oh. All right, I don't have enough cottage cheese. I only have 1 cup. Now, my wife is actually at the grocery store, so she's gonna bring me back some. It says it has to be drained, and I'm trying to figure out, how do you drain cottage cheese? Is anything happening? Nothing's happening, guys. Nothing's happening. Maybe something's happening. I don't know. Now I don't know how much that was. Dang it. Back into here, whatever. I'll be back once I have more cottage cheese. All right, so forcing me to stop is sometimes a good thing because I'm just like bull in China shop, run in and break everything. I don't have enough cottage cheese. Tina's getting it, but she won't be back for like another 20 minutes. I did study a little bit, and to drain cottage cheese, you pour it onto like a paper towel or a cheesecloth. You put another one and then you push it to get all the moisture out, or as much moisture out as you can. So we will do that once we get a little more cottage cheese. Let's work on the frostings while we wait. So we want to take a large bowl, which I'll use this one because why not? Okay, so we're gonna do all the frostings. It's 3 different frostings, I believe. Yeah, 3 different frostings. We need to start off with 1.5 cups of softened cream cheese. I've got cream cheese right here. A full cream cheese thingy and then 1/2 another one. One of the nice things about forcing me to stop is I cleaned up a little, so it's gonna be a little less stressful to work. It's always easier and less stressful to work in a clean environment. And it's not something I'm good at, but I know there's some people who are, and good on you. So 1.5 of these goes into our bowl. It was funny, I did a video where like, I grabbed a knife, I like checked if something was done, and then I put the knife back in that same drawer because, you know, in my opinion, it wasn't dirty enough to rewash. But a lot of people notice it and comment and be like, and they were like, why'd you put the knife back in after you used it? I'm like, well, I didn't really make it that dirty and I didn't want to rewash it. You know, it's a normal kitchen here, guys. We're not fancy. We also need 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, which is 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter, and it's gotta be softened. So I'm gonna throw it in the microwave. Yeah, that's soft. Add it in with the cream cheese. Now we're gonna mix that together until smooth and creamy. And I got my little fancy mixer thingy here. All right. Oh man, I might run out of my fake sweetener here. Hopefully not. I need 3/4 of a cup. Uh-oh. Oh no. No. All right. I've got this. Individual packets. Can we make it all the way to 3/4 cups? Just set that there. Why not? This might take a minute. I don't want to go to the store. I'm lazy, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to go to the store. How far are we from 3/4 of a cup? We're so far. Hold on. How many of these are there? There's 100 packets. What if it's not enough? What if I do them all and it's still not enough? Oh well, I'll be back in a minute. You know what? This has too many carbs in it. Apparently stevia in the raw has carbs, so I can't use that. I used a couple of them. Maybe added like a carb. Don't do that. I'm going to the store. I'm going to the store. No way around it. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I have more sweetener. 3/4 of a cup of sweetener goes in, I hope. I don't know. I went to the store and back. I changed my apron thingy. And I forgot to put the mic on, so that probably sounded weird. I'm back for real now with a... What is this on my shirt? So we had the 3/4 cup of sweetener, and then 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. All right, 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I guess another way to say 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract is 1 tablespoon. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're gonna mix it up again. And now we want to add a tablespoon of heavy cream. Now this will add carbs, so go easy on the heavy cream. But you got to get a good frosting consistency. This is going to help us get there. But we'll do a tablespoon of heavy cream and see if it looks like frosting. Let's see, does that look frosting-y? Kind of. Should I taste it? Tastes pretty good. Tastes like cream cheese frosting. I like it. Should I add a tiny bit more? I'll add a tiny bit more. One more half a teaspoon of heavy cream just to get the texture a little better. All right, wait. Go. So there's the base of our frosting. Now we're gonna make variations of the frosting, just like we're gonna make variations of the actual dough. We'll come back to that in a second. First, we gotta get our cottage cheese ready. Now, as I stated, we need 2 cups of cottage cheese drained. And to drain it, I'm just gonna pour it on a paper towel, spread it out a little. That's what the internet tells me to do. And then kind of just squeeze it in. Is this weird, guys? That, how do you get it off the paper towel though? Like, isn't it gonna be sticking to the paper towel? Oh no, not really. All right, that seems okay. And we're basically just trying to dry this as best as possible. What do you use, Charmin? Bounty? I don't know. We could do like a test. Which paper towel de-wetifies cottage cheese the best? It actually doesn't stick to it, which is kind of nice. All right, I got some more paper towels. Do that one more time. Try to get it as dry as we can. I think a lot of my other like cottage cheese recipes would have benefited from me doing this, like the cottage cheese flatbread would have benefited from me kind of drying it out a little like this. I'm like running out of bowls, so here's a mega bowl. I'm gonna put my cottage cheese in. Oh my gosh, the paper towel went with it, folks. Get off the paper towel. This is weird. It's like stuck to the paper towel. Oh, there we go. It's coming off now, kind of. I'm not a professional cook. Anytime I do something really, really dumb seeming, I have to remind you I'm not a professional cook. There we go. Is that even still 2 cups of cottage cheese? I feel like I lost some girth there. So we wanna add a half a cup of melted coconut oil. So unfortunately, my coconut oil I put in the fridge. And so it's definitely not even close to melted. It's actually kind of hard. But I'm just gonna take a bunch out and throw it in the microwave because that's how I melt things generally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. In the Florida weather, I could just put it outside for 10 minutes. That would do it too. Get out of there. Is that probably a half cup? Probably. Let me throw it in the microwave. All right, while we melt the coconut oil in the microwave, I'm not sure how long that's gonna take. I'm gonna do 2 eggs. Try not to get any shells, and add that in with our cottage cheese. Apparently, coconut oil is an impossible to melt substance because it's been like 2 minutes and it's still not fully melted. Even my little measuring cup is like super hot to the touch. You also want to add to this 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Uno and dos. Oh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Ow. Why is that so hot? All right, so this is scorching hot. Is that gonna cause issues? Let me see, how hot is it? Do I touch hot oil? No, maybe not. Maybe not today, Dave. Not today. I'm gonna need to clean my little mixers I was using for the frosting. All right, so I'm gonna start mixing this. I have not added the coconut oil yet. We'll get to that in a minute. Shall we add the scorching hot coconut oil? We're gonna add this scorching hot oil. Now, to be fair, the instructions said add melted oil, not scorching hot oil, so that could cause some issues. And then we're gonna start adding the dry ingredients a little bit at a time, that we got earlier. It feels like ages ago, because I've had to go to the store and stuff, but it wasn't that long for you. All right, we're gonna add a little more. And then a little more. It's starting to look like dough. Add a little more. I'm gonna need a spatula of some sort. Okay, sorry, I had an audio issue, but I went ahead and I scraped it off the side. Now I'm gonna continue to mix it. All right, I mean, you can still see the curds of cottage cheese. I mean, I guess you could blend the cottage cheese ahead of time so you didn't see the curds, but it does kind of look like a dough, like a cookie dough. So I think we're on the right path so far. Now we want to divide this into 3 even bowls. I don't own enough bowls for all this nonsense. Okay, hold on. Here, I can wash this one. I realize since all my bowls are different sizes, it may be hard to do even. So I'll just do like a ramekin full into this bowl, and a ramekin full into this bowl. And then we should have a ramekin full left, maybe? Science and math, this is more than a ramekin full. So that's okay, because what we can do is we can say boop, boop, and then boop. And there we go. 3 even amounts of dough, because we're making 3 different crumble cookies. They look different because the bowl sizes are different. You probably can't even see them, can you? Maybe I should zoom out. Is that zoomed out enough? Hold on, wait for it. Oh, they're right here. They're right in front of me. All right, there we go. We got 3 bowls, and I think you can see them all. Okay, so it says leave 1 bowl as in, or fold in like 0 sugar chocolate chips. So I'll fold in some chocolate chips. How many? Do I want to? Because then we're gonna put a frosting. No, I don't think we want chocolate chips. It's your call, you make the call. I'm not gonna do it. How does this thing work? So a viewer sent me this Pampered Chef thing. And we need a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. How do I do this? Big old spoon. I hate big spoons. I don't know why. It's one of those weird pet peeves of mine, a big spoon. 1/4 cup, okay. This is like gonna be a mess. I'm spilling it everywhere. All right, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. I guess we're doing it in this one because I already spilled some in there. And then in the same one, we're gonna put a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Where'd my big spoon go? There it is. So obviously this will be our peanut butter cup crumble cookie. This is a weird thing, guys. 1/2 cup. What in the world? Okay, here we go. 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Can you see it? You can see it. Goes in there as well. I don't know if I love this thing. I appreciate the person who sent it to me, but I don't know if it's really something I love. Maybe I'm supposed to use dry ingredients and I'm just using the wrong ingredients for it. That's probably the issue I'm having. I've made a mess. Anyways, I'm gonna get my little mixer and mix all that together for my peanut butter chocolate crumble cookie. All right, so that's my dough for peanut butter chocolate. Set that aside. This is gonna be my original, where I'm just gonna do nothing to it. So set that aside, that's like the vanilla. And then this, actually, you know what? This will be the vanilla, because there's no room in that bowl. This will be the lemon one. In the lemon one, I just need to add 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice and lemon zest to the tune of 1 teaspoon. Actually, you know what? Let me zest it first. I have it be zestfully clean. So zest up a lemon, get 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. You're gonna add that in with that other cookie dough. All right, we got a teaspoon of that. This is like the Pampered Chef episode. I'm using all these Pampered Chef things. Not sponsored. I don't think they sponsored. We then want to try to squeeze 2 tablespoons of lemon juice out of 1 lemon. Doesn't seem likely. I'll probably need a second lemon, but I do have one, so no biggie. Or 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, so I do need a lot. All right, let's see if I got 2 tablespoons. This is a 2 tablespoon measuring thing. I did. I'm just gonna put it all in there. Close enough. All right, same story, different day. Gonna mix it up with our mixer. Now all that lemon flavor is integrated as well. Okay, so now we're gonna actually get the cookies cooking, then we'll finish up with the frosting because we got different variations of frosting to make. We're gonna need some parchment paper. Now you guys told me a trick, and I'm gonna try it. So what you told me is to crumple it up. And then uncrumple it, and I should be able to get it to fit to the cookie sheet a lot easier. Tim said some people said to wet it too, so that's an option. But yeah, that seems like it works. It's definitely more manageable crumpled up, then I don't have to cut it. So I'll go with that. ChatGPT tells us to do 3 cookie sheets, all lined with parchment paper so we can cook all of these. I'm gonna do it a little easier. I'm just gonna do a little bit of each on 1 sheet. It says we can flatten these slightly. So we just want to do I'm just going to do a heaping tablespoon sized cookies. So it's like the little mini cookies they sell at Crumble. That, and do another 3. So that's our peanut butter chocolate ones. Now we're going to have different frostings for each of these. These are going to be so good. Now let's take our originals, original. I am cross-contaminating peanut butter with non-peanut butter, so if you're allergic to peanut butter, don't do that. We'll do 3 originals because I don't think I have room for 6 of each kind. And then we'll do 3 lemonion. The lemon is the wettest one. So this is the lemon one. Boom, boom, boom. Now I have a lot more I'm gonna make and be able to make, but I'm just gonna do it in batches. So, and you could just do them all at once if you have the cookie sheets and the oven space to do so. All right, so it's gonna go into a preheated oven at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes. So same idea goes for the frosting. We're gonna do 3 variations. I got 3 bowls. We're just gonna separate them out. I'll do like a heaping tablespoon type thing in each one, and then I'll just continue to spread them out until there's none left in my bowl here, like so. There you go, that seems pretty good. And like before, there's gonna be 3 different variations. So with the lemon one, we're gonna do a tablespoon of lemon juice, which to me is about 1 lemon, based on my past here in the last hour and a half. So that's probably about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then it says we can add some food coloring to that. Oops, I got a little seed in it. Add a little food coloring to it. Is this yellow? That's red. Why is it red? Is it gonna turn yellow? All right, this should turn yellow when we mix it. Oh, little lemon juice flew out. So this is our orangey yellow lemon frosting. Why is this? I think I used too much coloring, guys. Use less food coloring than I use. Oh well. Let me taste it. That's delicious. Lemony, very good. And then to the peanut butter one, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. All natural peanut butter, same idea. Add that in there and mix it together. Once again, goodness gracious, let me try that one. That's also really good. I'm getting excited now, folks. I'm getting excited. All 3 of these frostings are delicious. So they're gonna go on the cookies when they come out. Let's wait for them to cook and we'll be back to taste these bad boys. All right, we're back in action. The cookies are done. They have cooled a little bit, not too much, but they're done. I'm gonna try them. Let's see, how do I wanna do this? Let's start off with some of this peanut butter frosting on one of these chocolate peanut butter ones. Look at that, guys. It kind of looks like a crumble. I mean, I ain't fancy. You could make them look better with a little more time and energy, but there you go. Now I'm gonna try it and see if it tastes like a crumble, but keto version. That's a little too good, guys. That's a little too good. That's really, really delicious. Have mercy. Who's that, Uncle Jesse? Is that Uncle Jesse, Tina? Remember Uncle Jesse from Full House? All right, that's amazing. Let's try the lemon one with the lemon frosting, which ended up being bright orange. That's all right. That's really good too. Gotta use all 3 knives. Can we go 3 for 3? I think we can, based on the history here. I think this one's also gonna be incredible. And it reminds me of a crumble cookie. The texture, the consistency, the frosting. It's like little mini crumble cookies. Original. I'm getting kind of full though, down the hatch. That was nice. That was nice and subtle. It's a very subtle one. The original one's the least good. All right, so here's the thing. As far as carb count, calorie count, whatever, it says with a yield of 16. That's the assumption here. I made 6 of the chocolate and I have this much left. I think I've got I think I would get a yield of more like 24. So I think my carb counts are gonna be a little higher than reality if you make them this small. Obviously you can make them a little bigger if you desire. They don't taste like cottage cheese at all. They just taste like really good crumble cookies. You know, you can definitely tell they're not exactly as sugary, but man, is it close. Let's pretend you make 16 and you measure it out at home and you actually make 16 of just one flavor that sounds the best to you. Then I can provide the carb count. I think you're gonna end up with a larger cookie by maybe twice that size or a little more than half as much again. I don't know, a bigger cookie. But if you break it into 16, for your chocolate peanut butter, I think that's the highest one. No. 7 net carbs with frosting. So basically all that peanut butter frosting on like 24 or 16 cookies. So it'll be bigger cookies, they'll all be probably have more frosting. You would be at 7 net carbs in the frosting and the cookie combined. With the lemon one, you're looking at 4.7 carbs. Again, if you break it into 16 equally sized, I think they'll be bigger cookies with that full amount of frosting. Again, that would be 4.7 carbs. And then the original is 4.5 carbs. So whichever you decide to make, you can kind of go from there. My favorite is the chocolate peanut butter, then the lemon, then the original. Try it at home, guys. Thank you for watching Dave, me in the AI Kitchen. Make sure you subscribe and we'll see you next time.